RNC co-chair and Donald Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, was on Fox News and said illegal citizens are going to be voting in the November election, and they're going to prevent it. They're going to prevent it from being stolen like it was in 2020. Well, a couple things about that. First of all, if you're here illegally or you're an undocumented migrant, well, then you're not a citizen. And if you're a citizen, you're not here illegally. So either she doesn't know what she's talking about, or she's just throwing words together and hoping to rage bait. Um, and as far as these undocumented immigrants voting or people who are here illegally voting, we've been over this before. They are not going to risk getting found and deported for a chance to vote. A lot of the people who are here undocumented illegally are here under the radar. They want to avoid any sort of suspicion. That's why when Texas wants to pass this thing requiring to collect immigration status on patients at hospitals, it's going to deter people from going to hospitals. They want to fly as far under the radar as possible. Even if they have forged documents and a fake social security number or whatever, they are going to not file a tax return to get that tax money back. They're going to pay into the system, but they won't collect a refund. Why? Because that is something that can be traced to them. They're not going to risk it. Same with voting. They're not going to risk it. If they attempt to vote and they get caught, they could potentially be detained and deported. They're not going to try that. So this is just more rage baiting. They're just out there saying whatever they want to say, hoping that their base gets angry, gets fired up, and they're already trying to sow this idea that the election's going to be stolen again. Why? Because they can see the writing on the wall. Donald Trump is going to lose. He's going to lose big, and they need to have a narrative as to why they lose, and they can't accept the fact that it's just because their policies, their candidate, are unpopular. They can't do it. So they're going to try this rage baiting idea of clearly it was fraud again. Clearly it was undocumented immigrants voting in favor of the Democrats. That's not how that works. Like I said, they're not going to risk it. I'm going to keep going over it every so often, every time somebody else brings it up. But it's not a thing. It's never going to be a thing because you have to be a citizen to vote in a federal election. That's already a thing. And no one's going to risk it if they don't already have the ability, because people have been sent to jail for voting when they weren't supposed to. Like some people who thought they had their voting rights restored after convictions. Well, they didn't. They got caught and they have done jail time. So no one's going to risk it, you know. And if they are, the numbers are going to be so small, it is not going to sway the outcome of the election.